Alrighty, guys, welcome back. It's your host, ID Jester. We are dealing with hero number 35 in our never ending quest to cover all of the heroes in Sentinels of the Multiverse. Hero number 35 is the Harpy, as you can see right there. The Harpy. And we're going to be going through her information, go through all of her cards, and talk about her. And here's what I will say: she's got a very cool mechanic, and I remember playing her in the enhanced edition, which is what we're looking at right now. But I played her a lot more in the definitive edition because she came in one of the first expansion for it. I think it was the first expansion, either the core or the first expansion. Anyways, I've been playing her quite a bit because she's got a really cool mechanic and she's pretty powerful in the definitive edition. Let's find out how she is in the enhanced edition, though, and check out what card she comes with and what she can do. And so let me pull that information up. And let's see if we got the right screen. And no, we don't. Give me just a second. I apologize. We should get this up and running for you guys here. And you know what? Let's put us back over here where I'm used to seeing me. There we go. So the Harpy, there we go. Hero number 35 already here in our look as we go through every single one. Now she's got a very short history. It says the matriarch, after time in jail, was aided by Night Mist in controlling her magical powers and now fights alongside Dark Watch, hoping to atone for her previous villainous ways. So just like a lot of the other characters we've dealt with, like Commodora, these are villains that had turned into heroes. So if we go back and look at the game, the matriarch here actually is defeated by the help of Night Mist. She goes and converts the matriarch into the Harpy. So that's kind of the backstory that's going on with this, if you're not familiar. And so let's take a look. She does come with a variant as well. Dark Watch Harpy. And of course you can read the information, but we're going to move on and show you guys the cards. So the Harpy comes with 26 hit points, Arcane Blast power. The Harpy deals one target, 2 infernal damage. Look at the backside, really cool artwork here, and it's kind of got the outline of Night Mist here, which is interesting because she's the one that takes the matriarch and turns her into the Harpy. But anyways, cool artwork here. One player may play a card, one hero may use a power, one environment target deals one target, 1 projectile damage. Very typical, nothing interesting. Play a card, play a power, do a little bit of damage. Nothing interesting there, to be honest. And if we go to her variant, she comes in with 27 hit points. This is the Dark Watch, the Harpy. She's got Refocus power. Flip 1 control token. You may play a card. So that's pretty good. And the backside power, look at that. There is Gloom Weaver there. The mighty Gloom Weaver. One hero deals 1 target, 2 melee damage. One player plays up to 2 equipment cards. One player moves a card from their trash to the top of their deck. These are a little bit more interesting powers, at least, which is pretty good. So that is a look at Dark Watch Harpy. And we're going to look at the rest of her cards. She comes with 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16 cards. 16 different cards. Obviously her 40 card deck, just like every other hero. And let's take a look at what she's got. 3 copies of Ancient Tome. This is an equipment. Power, reveal cards from the top of your deck until 2 ongoing cards are revealed. Put one of those in your hand, discard the other revealed card. If there are 3 or more arcane control tokens, you can play an ongoing card. She's all about gathering and using arcane tokens for her magical abilities. So 3 copies of the equipment Arcane Tome, 2 copies of Applied Numerology, ongoing limited card. The first time each hero target would be dealt damage by a hero target each turn, you may reduce that damage by 1. Whenever you use a power in the Harpy's play area, you may increase by 1 or reduce by 1 of the numerals on the text of that power. So either an amount of people or the amount of damage, the numerals, which is kind of interesting. 2 copies of that card. Arcane Explosion, 3 copies, 1 shot. Flip your arcane control token. The Harpy deals each non-hero target infernal damage equal to the number of arcane control tokens. The Harpy deals each target infernal damage equal to the number of flock control tokens, I think is what the green of these are, flocks. Calling the Flock, and we have Calling the Flock. 3 copies of this. It's a 1 shot. Search your deck or trash for the card Higgin and Munnin. Put it into play. Shuffle your trash into your deck. The card Higgin and Muggin regains 5 hit points. And the Harpy deals each non-hero target 1 projectile damage. So she gets her special birds out. She can go search and find them. And they also get some healing. And there are 3 copies of that card. Conjured Aura. Ongoing limited card. At the start of your turn, the Harpy deals up to 3 targets 1 infernal damage each. Then if there are 3 or more flock control tokens, destroy this card. The first time the Harpy is dealt damage each turn, you may flip a control token. So she's got all these tokens in front of her. On one side is the Arcane, and on the other side is her flock. And she's trying to balance the power between these and activating them. And depending on how many are on the flock side and how many are in the Arcane side, will alter what her cards do. There are 2 copies of Conjured Aura, 3 copies of Directed Strike. It's a 1 shot. Flip 2 of your arcane tokens. Draw 2 cards. Discard as many cards as there are flock control tokens. Whenever you discard a card this way, the Harpy deals 1 to target 1 projectile damage. Super cool, super good power there. Alright, 3 copies of that card. We have Eldritch Draining. There she is with Night Mist. 1 shot. Flip 1 of your flock control tokens over. You may destroy 1 of your cards. If you do, flip over a control token. Draw a card and use a power. A lot of really good stuff there for sure, for sure. 3 copies of that. There's also 3 copies of Harpy Hex. It's an ongoing limited card. When this card enters play, the Harpy deals 1 target 1 infernal damage. Whenever you flip a control token, the Harpy deals 1 target 1 infernal damage. This is super good because you can see all of her cards are flipping tokens. So anytime she flips a control token, she's going to deal somebody damage. So she's going to be constantly activating cards to do things and activating them and flipping over his tokens. And if you can get this out, that's a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Huggin and Muggin. Aviant Companions. If there are 3 or more flock control tokens, increase projectile damage by the Harpy by 1. At the end of your turn, either flip 1 control token or this card deals 1 target 2 projectile damage. It also comes with 9 hit points as well. There's only 1 copy of this card in her deck, so obviously getting this card going to be super important for her. 3 copies of Lash of the Elements. It's a 1 shot. The Harpy deals up to X targets 1 lightning, 1 fire, and 1 cold damage each, where X is the number of arcane control tokens. Then the Harpy deals herself 1 infernal damage for each flock control token. Again, she's trying to balance her arcane abilities versus the monarch controlling her and taking over her, and she's trying to keep that all under wraps. 3 copies of that card. 2 copies of Magical Bequest. It's an ongoing card. When this card enters play, you may discard a card. If you do, you may draw a card. And it has the power, you may draw a card or play 1 ongoing card and flip one of your flock control tokens. So a good way of keeping your control tokens under wraps and keep them under control. And as you try to figure out what card you're going to play the next turn, try to energize it to more advantage. Mystical Outburst. It's a one-shot. There are 3 copies of this card. Flip all arcane control tokens except for 1. The Harpy deals 1 target X infernal damage, where X is the number of control tokens to flip this way. Now remember, if you just flipped over, say, 3 or 4 tokens, remember this power I talked about not too long ago? Hexy Harp. Whenever you flip a control token, the Harpy is going to deal 1 target 1 damage. So that's, let's say you're flipping over 3 or 4 control tokens. That's 3 or 4 damage there. Plus you get this, which is going to be deal 1 target X damage, where X is the number of control tokens you just flipped over, plus 1. So yeah, so you can see this 3 copies of this card too. So you get the Harpy Hex out, you get your Huggin and Muggin, and then you get Mystical Outburst. She can start racking up the damage. But you do have to manage all your control tokens with using some of your other cards. Swift Summoning. Ongoing. It's another power card. Reveal the top card of 1 hero deck. Play a card revealed this way. Discard any other revealed cards. If a one-shot is played this way, flip an arcane control token. Which again, flipping it over to its other side might be good to energize your flock cards and also energize your Harpy X by doing more damage. So Swift Summoning, 2 copies of this card. She's got 3 copies of Tenuous Focus. It's a one-shot. Flip 1 arcane control token. Draw 2 cards. Reveal the top card of your deck. Either play it or discard it. If you discard it, you get to flip a flock token. So there you go. 3 copies of that card. She's got 2 copies of the Flock's Care. It's an ongoing limited card that when there are 3 or more arcane control tokens, reduce damage dealt to the Harpy by non-hero targets by 1. After the Harpy is dealt damage by a non-hero target, if there are 3 or more Flock control tokens, she deals that target 1 projectile damage. 2 copies of the Flock's Care. And last but not least, 2 copies of Uncontrollable Flock. Ongoing card. At the start of your turn, flip 1 arcane control token. If you cannot, destroy this card. Then, if all control tokens are Flock, destroy an ongoing or environment card. At the end of your turn, the Harpy deals X targets 1 projectile damage each, where X is the number of Flock control tokens. And you can see, once again, Gloomweaver in the background there, as her Flocks are just mauling them. So there you go. That is a look at all of her cards and what she does. And as you can see, she's all about using the control tokens to flipping them over from arcane to flock and back and forth and trying to monitor having out the right number at the right time. I will say this right off the bat. She is going to be probably a very hard hero to deal with. Yeah, complexity of 3. So she is very complex, but that is in a good way complex, because she gives you very interesting and tough decisions, unlike some of the other heroes they made, which are kind of, designed with a purpose that isn't fun and interesting. At least the Harpy's always, for me anyways, been fun and interesting in her design. Trying to monitor when to use those control tokens, when to not use the control tokens, when to flip over the control tokens, when to not flip over the control tokens, which card do I need to play, in which order do I need to do them, which card am I looking for, and it's all really fun and interesting decisions that you need to make for the Harpy. I think, personally, I think she's probably one of the top, probably one of the top 10 designed characters, in my opinion. She's really well rounded with what she's doing. She's very focused in what she's doing. She has a history. She has relationships with other heroes. She has a lot of things going on. And I was super, super happy when I found out she was going to be in the expansion. I can't remember if she came in the core or if she came in the expansion. I will tell you in just a second here. Yeah, she didn't come in the core. Okay, I didn't think she did, but I didn't want to lie to you guys and tell you something that was not true. She did not come in the core. The core definitive edition box. She came in the expansion. Rook City expansion. Let's just double check just to make sure. Yeah, okay. Just wanted to make sure she did. In fact, there she is on the front cover, and there you go. All right. So, anyways, she's redesigned slightly in the definitive edition, which we're not really talking about in this situation. But she is redesigned and kind of streamlined a little bit, and she's even more fun. But I would say, in my opinion, she's really well designed in the enhanced edition as well, with her mechanisms of flipping the tokens and stuff. It is a little finicky and stuff. Some people might not enjoy that. But I thought the decisions and always thinking about what cards you have to play, and it can be frustrating sometimes if you don't get the right cards and all your tokens are on the wrong side and all that. It can be, a little, it can be a little bit anticlimactic, right? And all the other heroes are doing fancy things, and the Harpy can't do it. And I think that's why they redesigned her with the definitive edition. But when she's on, she's really on, and she's a lot of tough, interesting decisions and making the right plays at the right time. And I find her super fun and super interesting. So I would highly recommend you play her sometime. Again, she is a very complex hero, and she does have that big learning curve with her. Of all the heroes we've talked about so far, she does have quite a bit of a learning curve. You're going to have to play her several times to get the hang of her, understanding what she does. Don't get frustrated too early with her. It does take a little bit of time. And if you guys can get the definitive edition, I would highly recommend you get Rook City and try her out with the new definitive edition as well, because she is super good and super tough in the definitive edition as well. She can do some serious damage, and she's a lot of fun at that as well. So anyways, that is the Harpy, and her lore and history, and she's got the relationship, I think, is with Gloomweaver. Isn't it with Gloomweaver? Is that who her nemesis is? If I'm not mistaken, Gloomweaver, where are you? Where are you, dirtbag? Gloomweaver, let's see here. Maybe that's, is that Night Miss Nemesis? Is that why? Yeah, it's Night Mist's Nemesis is why. It's because Night Mist worked with changing the Monarch and getting her to convert over into the Harpy and stuff. And Night Mist is Gloomweaver's nemesis, and that's why she's always helping Night Mist try to defeat her nemesis. That's why you see a lot of the artwork for the Harpy has cards, backgrounds, is her and Night Mist, and obviously Gloomweaver, because they are taking on Gloomweaver to destroy him. And great artwork on just about all of her cards. A really good artwork. It's got this nice purpley, pink look, and the arcane magic type look, which is really good. And she's got obviously the flock of birds that come in. Really fun, interesting character. And here's Gloomweaver and her attacking and trying to knock Gloomweaver out for her buddy Night Mist. So, to have her and Night Mist in a group and taking on Gloomweaver, it's very thematic, very fun, interesting, good times, great times. Check out the Harpy, hero number 35, for our look at all the heroes in the game. We only have a few left before the end of the core, heroes. We have just a couple left. I think we're going to try and get those done today. We have Lifeline and Luminary, and then that'll be it. That is all of the Greater Than Games, Sentinels of the Multiverse core heroes. Then we have, obviously, a boatload of heroes left to go, which is part of the Mutant Mastermind, and then, of course, the great, the awesome, the stupendous Cauldron. I own all this. I purchased them all. And they're so good and they're so great, these characters. And you can get those at drive-through cards, and order those. They are a little bit expensive, on the expensive side, so try and get them while they're on sale. But if you're a Sentinels of the Multiverse fan, and you want more content, you're going to get a good, I think, let's count them up. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22 more heroes just in the Cauldron. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 more from the Mutants and Masterminds edition, which is Sentinels of Earth Prime is the correct title of it. And we'll be looking at those coming up. But first, we got to look at Lifeline and then Luminary. And we're going to try and get those done back to back right now in the next episodes. And then I'll be done with all of the core and be able to take a nice break and then pick it back up with the next group. So Lifeline will be next. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next. Thanks for watching. Bye.